Hello, good afternoon. Here I am again, and it's harder to do these live streams that I'm challenging myself to do later in the day. I wish I would get them out of the way in the morning, but today I got caught up in some writing inspiration, and I spent about 2 hours just writing a story about a story. And today I'm going to talk about relationships. I like to have a subject for my live stream so that I'm not just sitting here trying to come up with stuff to talk about. So today I thought I would talk about a huge transformation I experienced in how I viewed relationships. And it happened after I went through a near-death experience and then a really long recovery from a health issue. So I had a huge life-saving surgery in 2012, and at the time my relationship with my husband, my ex now, was very strained, and my health condition didn't help things. And there came a point when I did leave that relationship. And when I left that relationship, it's not that I didn't believe in love anymore, because I did. I believed in love 100%. In fact, love really was what was driving me at that time. I was just so grateful to be well enough to have a life, a little bit of a life again after years of lying in hospital beds and lying in my bed at home and having my children take care of me, and my husband, who did a lot for me, but I never felt like I felt, and I'm not putting this on him, but I felt like I was a burden to him. And so that weighed on me. I just couldn't stand feeling like a burden. And I think a large part of that was just that he and I didn't, we just couldn't communicate well with each other. We just really weren't a good match. We didn't understand each other. We didn't get each other, you know? So that relationship came to an end. And I just thought, I never want to be in a relationship again. I just never want to feel like a burden again. I never want to feel like I have obligations. I have to compromise for anyone else ever again. And that was just part of my new outlook on life, because my outlook was that I wanted to embrace my life. I just wanted to live every moment to the fullest. And I never wanted to compromise my own happiness for someone else ever again, because I had done that for so long in my marriage, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't make him happy and I wasn't happy. And I just never wanted to go through that again. Then I met my current partner, who I am still with now, surprisingly. And the reason I say surprisingly is not because of any of the difficulties we've experienced, and we have. Every relationship goes through challenges, and we've had some doozies. We've had challenges that I think other people might even judge me or judge him that we stayed together throughout, or that we got back together afterwards. But that's not the most profound thing, us still being together through all of those hard times. The most profound thing is that when we entered our relationship, neither of us really actually wanted to be in a relationship. We were both getting out of long-term relationships that had turned very sour near the end, and we were happy on our own. And how I perceived and embraced my relationship, that this new relationship that I had with my with this amazing man that I just was like so infatuated with, was, this is amazing. I love this. I feel so good. I haven't felt these feelings in years, and I'm going to just live it up and fill myself up with this wonderful passion every moment that I can. I'm going to milk it. I'm going to milk it, and I'm not going to put a future on it. I'm not going to say this has to be my life for the rest of my life, or that this has to be my man for the rest of my life, or anything. I didn't judge myself for bringing him into my children's lives. at that time, even though previous to that, as a single mother, I was very reluctant to have any people that I had even the slightest interest in around my children. Whereas this time, I knew what it was like to have no life. And I was just not wasting another second or another minute. And he was a good person. Obviously, like we weren't like, oh, kissy, kissy in front of my children or anything. But he was mom's friend and he treated my children with respect. And I didn't, I actually was warmed to see that their response to him was so good. So that just increased my respect for him. But really, I never ever thought to myself, this is forever. This is forever. Because really, this was just for today. This was just for today. And so every day that kept going on and lengthened, and I stayed in the relationship, even through difficult times, or even when we broke up and got back together, I never beat myself up for it. Like, why are you getting back together with your ex? They're an ex for a reason, or any of the rules. I've learned rules don't apply. Not if you just want to be open, vulnerable, and live a passionate, fulfilling life. That's something I realized so deeply after living life on the sidelines, sick, and just, waiting to be able to have a normal life again. That you never know when, and it sounds so cliche, but you never know if you have tomorrow. And so it's so important to live every moment to the absolute fullest. And that's in relationships too. And so my current partner and I, how we've treated our relationship and how we've learned from each other is, one, we don't take each other for granted, like this is forever. And so we're forced, we have to continue to win each other. We have to always prove that we can win each other over. And when we're not doing that, we lose each other. It's just because both of us want to have a passionate, wonderful life. And we don't want to struggle and fight and feel down or feel unpeace in our own homes. We have a standard, we have boundaries on what we're willing to accept in our lives. And it's not that we don't love each other if we say this isn't working right now. It's more that we just love ourselves. We love ourselves, and we accept that right now this is not helping me. This is not contributing to my success or happiness or peace in life. And so for now, this isn't right for me. But if it is right for me down the road, we'll bring it back. And now I've been with my partner on and off a little bit, but more on than off for, oh my goodness, almost 7 years? Almost 7 years or almost 8 years? Oh my gosh, it's been almost 9 years. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I can't even count right now because I'm feeling on the spot being on a live. But we are best friends. And the reason I really feel like we've been able to make our relationship work is because we don't own each other. We don't take tomorrow for granted. And we want to always win each other over. And we don't treat each other disrespectfully, because I want to be happy every day, and he wants to be happy every day. And when someone is rude to you or use a rude tone of voice towards you, that brings you down. And so we don't tolerate that from each other. We want to treat each other with respect, kindness, and love. And we really want to just treat everyone that way, right? And it's not always easy. Obviously, we all have our moments. We get upset or we get angry. And I'm not saying that my partner and I are perfect. We mess up on this, but then we stop and we apologize, and we recognize that that's not the behavior that we want to exhibit with each other in our relationship. I just think I learned so much from going through that, near-death experience about what really matters. And what really matters is today. And it seems cliche, but it's everything. And I live my life like that now. And every day I'm just so grateful for. And I'm just so grateful to have my beautiful, wonderful man that is my best friend, and my children and my friends and my community. Life is really amazing, even when it's hard. Gotta admit. All right, I've been way too positive for this live stream. I think it's time to end the broadcast. Have a wonderful Friday. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I will do another live tomorrow, even though it is very out of my comfort zone.